Good morning, traders. Welcome to this week's Elliott Wave Forex and Cryptocurrency Market Analysis webinar. I hope you all had a wonderful week. It has been an interesting week, and interesting as related to the trade setups that we've had and the trades that we took in the week, which we will share shortly. Big shout out to Sandile, who hosted the webinar last week. And if you'd watched the webinar last week, you should have made quite a bit of money because the analysis was spot on, especially on the US dollar pairs. If you'd watched the US dollar pairs and the yen pairs, you should have made a lot of money in the week. So we will be sharing some of those setups. What we do here during the live analysis is to analyze for the week ahead, and then we go and execute in our group during the week when the setups confirm. So we've got a special indicator that we use to confirm setups, and a very powerful strategy that we use for trade executions. As you will see, I will share some of the trade setups and some of the trades that we're in, even some of them, that we'll share from our live account, just to see how the entries, how we've hit the metric, how we've executed the entries. So that's how we're going to be looking at the markets. So before we get started, if you'd like to contact us, our next course is starting on the 30th of November. So if you want to attend the course, it is the last one for the year. So we had to squeeze this one in because there was a lot of demand for it. So this is the last course of the year. So if you'd like to contact us, check out under the description of all the videos. Okay. Right, so there are our contact details under the description of all the videos on YouTube. You will find those contact details. So you'll also find the timestamps. So if you don't want to watch all the charts that we're looking at, all the instruments, you can just click onto the timestamps. So a few hours after the video has been uploaded, you will find these timestamps. It works very well for those that are only looking for specific pairs. So there are our contact details. You'll see the contact number. This number you can use via WhatsApp or Telegram. And also you can follow us on TradingView, our website there. If you're booking the course, you book it on the website. The course is fully recorded. So when you make a booking, even if you as soon as you make the booking, you find the full recording of the course, and then you will still attend the 10-day course in November on the 30th. So you get to participate after having watched the course. So you get to have a view as well. So look out for our social media pages, the Twitter page there, as well as our Facebook page. So you can check out our Facebook page. So you will see that there are a number of setups that we post there before and after. Right, so those are our contact details. The course is on the 30th of November and the timestamps there. Let's go straight into trade recaps and look at how the market has played out. Now, the theme for this week is fundamentals versus Elliott Wave theory. Which one is better? So I've done a video a couple of years back, could be 2 years back or last year, I'm not sure exactly, where I detailed the relationship between fundamental analysis and the Elliott Wave theory. So now to answer that question is very simple. There was a lot of talk about how the market is going to react to the US elections and all of that. So what we look at is the charts. I'll show you the charts that we have posted for members before the US elections and how the market has played after. Then we relate that, then we can see the relationship between fundamental analysis and the Elliott Wave theory. So let's look at the recap first. Before we go into that chart that I'm going to look at specifically is gold. But before we go to gold, let's look at this amazing setup here on Euro New Zealand. Okay, so Euro New Zealand, let's look at this chart. So Euro New Zealand, this is the setup that we've had here, and this is only when we started looking at the at this move to the downside. So we started looking at this one here. But this is not where we started looking at this. So this went down 950 pips. You'll see that we've had trade setups on this about 2 weeks back, 3 weeks back. We traded this one to the downside. Over 950 pip drop on this one. But that was not the only thing. We forecasted that this was going to make a drop here. It was going to make a move to the upside, and it was going to drop like that. So this is how Euro New Zealand played out before. So this is what members got before that move. So let's just go into the Euro New Zealand channel here, so you can see what we had way before that drop, and then we'll look at how this one has played out. We're going to look at a couple of recaps. Some will look at we'll look at while we'll look at them while we do the market analysis. So let's look at Euro New Zealand. So this is Euro New Zealand. Now look at this amazing trade. So this should be one of this is like a trade of the year actually. So let's have a look at this one. Euro New Zealand, this is the 4-hour chart. This is what I was talking about. We forecasted that we're going to get a move to the downside, and check the date here. This was October the 9th on TradingView. So this is what the members got on October the 9th, that this was going to make a move to the downside. It was going to make a move to the upside right here. This is where we executed the trade. 2 weeks back, if you look at the webinar from 2 weeks ago, you will see that we had a trade setup with execution right here. Right, so this is where we had here, and now we've dropped this 950 pips. Now we're starting to make a move to the upside, and that is the expectation with this. So that is how Euro New Zealand has played out, and it is an amazing trade here. So this is the detail now as we're showing this on the 1 hour. This is what the members got on the 1 hour. So look at the detail. Again, this is still on the 9th of October on the 4-hour chart. Let's have a look at this one. So that is it, showing you that we're coming down here. We're going to come up here before this drop that we showed here as well. So that is an amazing trade that we had on Euro New Zealand. Amazing. It is like magic. So let's have a look at the rest of the trade setups. I'm going to start from 2 weeks back. So this was Euro New Zealand. We've already talked about Euro New Zealand, and this is the 950 pip drop eventually that we got here on Euro New Zealand. So we have dropped from here, and we've gone up around this area. We're now looking for a reversal around this area. That was Euro New Zealand. So let's look at the rest. Now this is Pound Audi. So Pound Audi, I'm not even going to look at this one. It is we've got, this is last week when we were looking for this corrective structure. Now we're looking for upside here. I want to look at the gold chart now. That is going to explain the relationship between fundamental analysis and Elliott Wave theory. So let's have a look at this one. Now, this is the gold chart. Amazing. This is amazing because look at the date. This was the 24th of October. The US election started on the 2nd of November. Now, this is the chart that we had before the elections. We have been analyzing gold for a couple of weeks while it was building this structure. We identified this triangle that you see here. We identified that this move was going to come down here. When this move was complete, before this structure, before this W in green started playing out, we thought that this was going to go straight up because we were looking at this correction to have completed. Then we saw that this was not making a move to the upside. It was making only a 3 waves to the upside, only a 3 waves to the downside. And then we said on the 24th of October that gold is going to make a slight push to the downside, and it's going to make a move to the upside, and it's going to drop. Where is gold now? If you look at your charts now, check where gold is now. We're currently making this correction, and we're left with this move to complete here. That is how amazing this is. So now you can answer yourself. We didn't know how the market was going to react to the results. I mean, there were a lot of analysts speculating how the market is going to react. US dollar is going to be weak. US dollar is going to be strong. We don't have answers for that. The only thing that we've got control of is the analysis. We can look at the chart. It can give us guidance what to expect. So that is how gold has played out. We've actually executed a gold trade here, as you'll see when we go ahead. So this is gold. This is how it has played out. You can check your charts how gold has dropped right as expected. So this is now when this move happened. Then it came, and then we said around this area, around 1950, 1960, we're going to get gold to drop. What has happened? We all know what has happened. If you're watching the market, you know where gold is right now. Gold has already dropped. So this is now silver. So silver, it was exactly the same thing here. We expected silver to make a push to the upside. This was also just before the election. So you look at this one. This was on election day, right? On election day, we said this is how silver is going to play out, and it's going to make a move to the upside, and it's going to drop. So that is how silver has played out, just the same as gold. So you will see the rest of the charts as we start with the analysis. That is how silver has now pushed to the upside as expected. What has happened? We have dropped. We are around these areas on silver. We're still expecting downside. So let's look at the rest of the charts. Now, this is oil. Look at oil, how amazing oil is. This is Brent crude oil. Brent crude oil, we looked at this structure and we said Brent crude is going to make a push to the upside here. We are around this area and we've already shorted Brent crude around these areas. So that is how Brent crude has played out. Let's see. Brent crude oil, we have pushed up higher. Now we have shorted Brent crude, looking to take advantage of this. We will do a detailed analysis when we start. We're just looking at trade recaps here. Right, so this is now the indices. Look at the Nasdaq. So the Nasdaq, we expected it to push all the way to the upside for that wave 5. We've had a move down here. We've had a bit of a push to the upside here, but it looks like the Nasdaq is still going more sideways. Let's have a look here how this one is playing out now. So the Nasdaq, this was the forecast. This was how we were expecting the Nasdaq to play out. I just need to get out of this here and go right down to the indices. So I don't want to go through all the charts, otherwise we spend the whole day here. So this is the Nasdaq. That was the expectation. This was 2 weeks. This was last week actually. So this is these are last week's trades. So Dow, if you look at the Dow now, this is how the Dow has played out. We've had the corrective structure here on the Dow, which we expected. I'll look at the detail of this when we start with the market analysis. So let's have a look at the rest of the pairs. If you're looking at your charts, you know how these have played out. So this is how this was playing out. We still expected this to keep pushing up higher. The S&P 500 as well. Initially, if you all remember, or if you've been watching our videos, you'll remember that we were looking for the S&P 500 to push up here from here. But when this made a move to the downside here, we saw that this was going to make a flat correction and it was going to make a push to the upside. Okay, so that is how the S&P 500 has played out. Amazing. Right, this is now the DAX. If you look at the DAX, how has the DAX played out? As expected, we focused that the DAX from current levels, which we expected, has now pushed up higher exactly from where we expected it to push to the upside. Now, this is now the DAX, and that is how the DAX has played out. Right, so that is how the DAX has played out. We are now around this area. DAX has now pushed to the upside. Right, so let's look at the rest of the charts. Now, the UK 100, it's one of the amazing trades that we have been looking at. So this one is amazing because we have looked at the correction for a couple of weeks. Let's look at this corrective structure. Right, so the UK 100, we have been looking at this structure, this simple three-wave structure, to come down around this area and push to the upside. Where's the UK 100 now? So the UK 100 has now dropped here and has now made a move. We are around here, this area. So that is the expectation. We're expecting it to push up higher like that. Now, the amazing thing about this is that we did not just get this one here. While it was making this structure, these three waves here, and it was making these three waves up here, we have been detailing how this was going to play out, exactly how it has played out with that sequence. As you can see, this is a 7-swing sequence, and we expected this to push up higher, right pinpointed at this area. That is where the UK 100 has pushed up higher. Okay. That is the UK 100. Where are we now? So we have pushed up higher last week. We have pushed up above this level here. We are now correcting here for further upside. We expect the UK 100 to keep pushing up higher. It needs to clear this level for it to reach that target there. That is the UK 100. Looking very good there. Right. Now, these are the cryptocurrencies. I'm going to skip the cryptocurrencies. Look out for the cryptocurrency video to see the detail on the recap of the cryptos. So check out the crypto video immediately after this. So that was Ethereum, just detailing how Ethereum was going to keep pushing up higher, including Bitcoin. You will see that in the crypto video. So this is Ethereum. This was the forecast, and this is how it's playing out. Still pushing to the upside, the cryptocurrencies. Right, so let's get off the cryptocurrencies and look at only the Forex charts. We'll look at the rest with detailed market analysis. Now, this is CAD Chief, the specific trade that we took in the week. So we took this one right here. As you can see here, this is where we took the trade on CAD Chief, and this played out in just a matter of hours. So over this is where from 68 to about 70 there, this one played out in a couple of hours, just made one big candle straight to target. That is CAD Chief. Look at this one here. Immediately when we took the trade, just shot up like that, straight up to target over 150 to 200 pips there in just a single trading session. That is a CAD Chief, an amazing trade there. Right, so this is Euro Pound. Euro Pound, we have been detailing how this was going to make a push to the upside here and was going to drop here. How has this played out now? This is how Euro Pound has played out. Exactly as forecasted. This is like magic. Now, what do we say about fundamentals? We did not have any information about the fundamentals. All we had was structure and sequence, as well as our indicator that tells us the market directions. Now, we are here. We've pushed up a little bit higher, so we're still expecting Euro Pound to keep pushing up higher. Right, Euro New Zealand, we've already detailed Euro New Zealand. This is where we forecasted Euro New Zealand to drop from here, to push up here, to come down here. This alone here is over 900 pips. This around here is about 400, and here is about another 200 pips on Euro New Zealand. So over 1,500 pips in total in just this one single pair. We've already looked at this one, so let's move on and look at the rest. Right, so this is Euro New Zealand that move from right at the top. As you can see, this is how it has played out, and we're now starting to look for a push to the upside here. That is Euro New Zealand. Let's look at the rest. New Zealand CAD, this was the forecast. How did that play out? Let's have a look there. Exactly as forecasted. It's like magic, right? That is New Zealand CAD. So all these charts members get before they move, and we also look at them during our live trading sessions. We've got live trading rooms Mondays to Fridays, actually 2 sessions per day, 1 session during the London session and another into the start of the New York session. So besides just these charts, we also have those live trading room sessions where we trade live with all our members. So this is a New Zealand Chief, and all these charts that I'm detailing here, and every member would have seen this. Now, when you look at US Dollar Chief, everybody should have seen. If you look at the video last week Sunday, we had detailed exactly how this was going to make a push to the upside. This is US Dollar Chief. We've already traded US Dollar Chief right here. We've taken the trade on US Dollar Chief. This is our live account here. Let's just look at US Dollar Chief. If you look at US Dollar Chief, you'll see that we've already executed the trade right at the bottom here. Let's have a look here. Not US Dollar Chief, we've got a trade on US Dollar CAD. Right, so our trade is on US Dollar CAD. Is a similar structure. You'll see this, we executed our trade here. If you look at the red line, that is the stop. That means we're already running the trade risk-free. The green line is the entry here, and you can see that this is a live account here. This is a live account. It is how we have executed. We're already running this trade risk-free. That means we are not going to lose this trade regardless of what happens. So that is a US Dollar CAD. All right. So with that's US Dollar CAD. I'm going to show you a couple of the trades that I'm talking about. We will see as we start with the market analysis. I'll show you exactly where we entered and how the trade is going on the rest of the chart. So last week we detailed exactly how that was going to make a push to the upside. US dollar yen. Also, if you look at last week's video, just go watch last week's video. You'll see that we indicated that this will be pushing to the upside and explaining exactly why the structure is telling us that it's going to make a push to the upside, and that is how US dollar yen has pushed up now. It has pushed up. If you've watched the video, you should have made money last week. Free information there that we gave out last week. Now this is pound yen. Pound yen, we expected it to push down here and make a push to the upside. This was on the 12th of October. So let's have a look at how pound has played out. So pound yen from the 12th of October to how it has played out now. Look at this. It has made a push to the down upside and has made a move to the upside here. So it has actually made these 3 waves. So it has not really reached that level, but this is now making a move to the downside. So this is just to show you how you can focus. Look at this from the 12th of October. Let's go back one. From the 12th of October on pound yen, let's go to pound yen again. We said this was going to come down. It's going to go to the upside. And that is, it's like magic how this follows wave theory. All right. So this is how pound yen has played out. What else do we have here? We've got CAD yen. We expected CAD yen to push up higher. This is how KDN has played out. So there's so many trades. I'm not going to go through all of this. You'll see the ones that we actually in on our live account when we start with the market analysis just now. That is KDN. Let's get off KDN here and see what else we've got here. Some we'll share when we start with the market analysis here. So US dollar chief, as you can see, we've already indicated this one, entry right at the bottom. So if you, this is US dollar yen, pound yen. Let's look at the rest here. CAD yen, New Zealand yen also pushed up higher. Almost 90% success rate forecasting last week. So UK 100, we've already looked at that. CAD, I think we've gone through almost everything here. So this is just showing you the entry on Euro US dollar. So Euro US dollar, these have not played out quite yet, but I'm just going to show you that we've already executed the trades here on Euro US dollar. So Euro US dollar, we've already executed the trade here. It's currently correcting here, back at entry. So we're expecting this one to continue to the downside. So if you look at Euro US dollar, we are already in that trade. Not risk-free as yet. We are back at entry. As you can see, this was our execution. Okay, we've dropped a couple of pips here. We are back at entry. That's still fine. We're still holding on to that trade. We're expecting it to continue to the downside. Right, so let's go straight into the market analysis now. What do we expect to happen in the next week now? You need to watch or make sure that you grab a lot of information that we're going to be sharing here and the analysis that we're going to be sharing here, because this is quite accurate. So let's start with Euro, US dollar, and the DXY. So these are the charts that we've got for our members. Only members have got access to this. You can come to our website and check all the other information, but you will not, you will not have access to the members area. So this is the members area. So let's start with the US dollars, US dollar pairs. Right, so if you look at the US dollar pairs, let's start with Euro US dollar and the DXY and what we expect. US dollar pairs, let's go. Right, so those are the Euro US dollar pairs. Let's start with Euro US dollar. I'm going to look at the 4-hour chart. So this is what you see on the 4-hour chart. This was posted for members on the 7th. We've already started this drop. It's not really gone anywhere, but the expectation as detailed last week was this, that we're looking for 3 waves down, 3 waves up, and we're looking for another 3 waves to the downside. So this is how Euro is playing out so far. We've made a slight move to the downside, has not really gone anywhere. As you've seen, this is where we are. 1, 2, 3 down, 1, 2, 3 up. We're expecting that we're going to have another 1, 2, 3 to the downside on the euro. So expect further downside on the euro. So the structure that we're looking at is simply a WXY structure, as you see with on the website there on the structures, the sequence that we've got 1, 2, 3 down, 1, 2, 3 up. This is an expanded flat here for WXY structure. We're looking for downside. So this is the chart on Euro US dollar. So if you look at this one here, we're looking at this red degree, 1, 2, 3, and this is our wave 4. So whatever structure is happening here on the euro, we're taking advantage to complete wave 4, and then we're going to be looking for wave 5 to complete here on Euro US dollar. Let's see how this plays out. That is Euro US dollar. So the DXY is obviously the inverse of Euro US dollar. Let's look at the DXY, the dollar index. So the dollar index is the inverse of Euro US dollar. Let's look at it. There is the dollar index. You can see the dollar index is exactly the inverse of the structure that we're seeing on Euro US dollar. This is how the dollar index is playing out here. We're expecting a 3-wave structure here. We started with a 3 waves up. Remember, Euro US dollar, we started with a structure to the downside. This is an expanding flat here on the X, like that, and then we're expecting a 3-wave to the upside. That is why you see the dollar index has started this move to the upside, and then we're going to be expecting a drop after this structure completes. So currently we are around here, around these areas on the DXY. Let's have a look at the current chart. Let's clear everything there. So we've made a small move to the upside, just like we did with the euro. So this is the move that we're expecting. Is this now going to take the top here and drop? So that is what we're looking at on the DXY and Euro US dollar. Let's look at pound US dollar. Pound US dollar is an amazing trade. Go to the webinar 2 weeks back, not last week, 2 weeks back, where we executed. I showed also during the on our live account how we executed this move here. So pound went and dropped about 300 pips from around this level to around this level. So we got out of this trade. Now again, pound. When we were looking at this structure, this is how we're looking at this structure. We were looking at these to have completed here, 3 waves. And we're expecting this one to go all the way. So we got into the trade, dropped 300 pips. We got out because it kept it reversed the gains. Now again, when that structure made a double, it was making a bigger corrective structure. We've now executed pound at that level, and this is how it looks here. So this is, we've already executed the trade at that level on the live account. This is pound. If you look at pound here, look at this entry here. This is what our strategy gives us. It gives us these entries here. I want to just zoom in here so you can see where the entry is on pound here. I've just removed the lot sizes and the account sizes here, so you can just see the entries here on pound. So this is what we have here. That is the executed trade. So if you look at this, the stop is already within profits here. So that it means we will never lose this trade no matter what happens. It is running risk-free. So the expectation is for pound to continue dropping like that, just as we're expecting euro to drop. So we're expecting short-term US dollar strength. So we've got that structure on pound. We're already in the trade, so we'll be expecting this to continue to the downside. If it keeps pushing up higher, it's going to take us for no loss, but the expectation is for this to continue to the downside. That is the structure on pound. So let's look at the pound structure here and the expectation here. So that is what we've got. So pound, as you can see, we expected it to drop from here. We've already executed right here. We've got a slight drop here, about 200 pips drop already on pound, 300 pip drop, and already reversed about 100 pips. So now we're looking for this to continue to the downside. What we're seeing there, we're expecting it to be a pullback and continuation to the downside. Okay, keep an eye in the week ahead. US dollar chief, we already looked at this one during trade setups. You've seen the structure. It was detailed very clearly by Sandile in last week's webinar, showing clear 3 waves up, 3 waves down, and a move to the upside. This is exactly the same structure that you see on the DXY. So we're still expecting a push to the upside in the next week. So US dollar CAD, similar structure to US dollar CAD, to US dollar chief rather. 3 waves up. This was detailed exactly as I'm showing you last week, that we were going to have a drop and we're going to have a push to the upside. We're already here. We're expecting a push to the upside on US dollar CAD. So US dollar CAD is also a trade that we are currently in on our live account, as you can see, executed right at the bottom. Let me show you here. This is US dollar CAD. I've already shown you this. This is where the execution happened on US dollar CAD. It is already running risks-free. As you can see, that is a stop on the red line is a stop and the green line is the entry. So that trade is safe and running risk-free. So members get this before the moves. Audi US dollar. So Audi US dollar also was detailed as I'm going to show you now. Last week, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3 up. Now, last week we said the Audi US dollar is going to drop. We've got a slight drop and it's not dropping aggressively here. We're already in this trade as well. So let's see how it's going to play out. So we'll be expecting this to continue to the downside. But let's see how it goes. This looks corrective and looks to continue to the upside. We have not protected this one here yet, so it may hit our stop if it makes a move, one more move to the upside and then down. But we are already in the trade, as you can see here on Audi US dollar. Let's show you Audi US dollar. So that is Audi US dollar. We've already shorted, as you can see. This is already in a few profits there, but it's already we've executed here, but it has dropped around here and now is back to entry. But that entry looks like another setup for downside. It's a 3-wave structure like that, and then we'll be looking for this to continue to the downside. Let me show that with blue on white is clearer. 1, 2, 3. We'll be looking for this to continue to the downside based on this structure this is the structure that we're looking at on Audi US dollar. Let's show it here. So this is Audi US dollar. So that is the expectation. That's why you see Audi has already made this small move here from where we expected it to drop. So this chart was posted for members on the 7th of November. So we're already in a bit of profits there on Audi US dollar. What about New Zealand? New Zealand is similar. We also already executed New Zealand right at the top here. New Zealand US dollar right here has already dropped a few pips, about 50, 60 pips in, But let's see how this is going to play out. If you look at this one here on the live account, just to show you that we're already in this trade setup. Let's with New Zealand US dollar. Let's look for New Zealand US dollar. There it is. You can see that's the stop loss. We're already in the trade, and we're looking for this corrective structure to continue to the downside. That is Euro New Zealand. All right, so that is what the expectation for the next week on this pairs. So let's see how this plays out. So it's showing us a continuation pattern to the downside. Indicator needs to confirm that we're going to continue to the downside. US dollar ZAR, very interesting. Now, if you look at US dollar ZAR, the structure that we've been expecting looks like it's about to play out. Now, two things may happen here on US dollar ZAR. If you like this pair, it's going to give a very nice trade. So we are here currently. Okay, so these we're expecting to make a move to the upside, but this may not be ready just yet. We may make a small push to the upside and come back down here and then push to the upside. The structure that we're expecting is this one here. It's a simple WXY. You can see ABC structure, rather ABC structure on US dollar ZAR, and then we're expecting upside. But these, in terms of the sequence, may still need to get one more down. What are we talking about? But when we say the sequence, let's have a look here at what the structure looks like. So let's show here the structure. So this is what we have here on US dollar ZAR. So if you look at this one here, this is a 5-wave move to the downside. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 here. That's our A. This 5 should actually be here. That's our A there. Now we've got the bigger corrective structure here. 1, 2, 3. Now it's ending with a diagonal here, with an ending diagonal. So if you look at the diagonal, it looks to be incomplete. 1, 2, 3. That's why I'm saying we may get a bit of a push to the upside, one more down into the blue box, and this will be going to all the way to the upside. Now, if we get around this level, guys, you may be getting a very big move to the upside on US dollar ZAR. So keep an eye on this. So if you don't get this trade, if this trade does not take off from current levels, which we're already in, we will be looking to take it right in here. That is where we're going to be looking to take US dollar ZAR. Right, let's look at the rest of the pairs here. Pound yen, we've already looked at pound yen. You saw pound yen during trade recaps. The expectation was for pound yen to do this, to drop here and push up higher, and now we're coming down as expected. Let's just switch this off here and look at only the structure. You've already seen the pound yen structure has made this move. 1, 2, 3. Now we're coming down here with this. So we could be looking for a corrective structure here to come and drop around this area. That is pound yen, US dollar yen, also detailed last week. This move, I've already shown you this during trade recaps. We are around this area. We're expecting the euro yen to come and take around this level. Expect continuation to the upside. Euro yen. Let's look at euro yen as well. Now, euro yen, let's have a look at the structure here. So euro yen looks to have made 1, 2, 3. If you remember euro yen, we sold euro yen at this level. We were expecting euro yen to continue to the downside after this. We're looking for this move 1, 2, 3 up, 1, 2, 3 back, and we sold euro yen expecting this one to come around this level. We sold it here, it only got up to this level. Now it makes sense why it has pushed up this level. The structure now will be this. I'll show you now the structure, what the expectation was on the site. So we're expecting this one to continue to the downside, but it has now made this move. So if it has made this move, what is the expectation? The expectation is that this is a flat and it's going to continue to the downside like that. So if you look at the structure on the yen pairs here, let's look at the yen pairs. Yen pairs, and we look at euro yen. You've already seen US dollar yen and pound yen. Euro yen looks like this. So this just to show you that not all the trades or all the focus plays out as expected, but the structure remains intact. Our structure here is that we're looking for this to be a bigger corrective structure. This was our W, this is our X. This just simply means that our X is not here, but rather is now here. Still the same structure. Are we still expecting downside? Absolutely. The structure is still the same as I'm showing you here. We're still expecting downside currently on euro yen. Right. The next one is euro chief yen. Chief yen, the same thing. We expected chief yen to just pull back and continue to the downside. And this one has played out as expected. This is chief yen. Let's have a look at chief yen. Chief yen, as you can see, the pullback, although it became deeper than expected, now we're dropping as expected. So we're looking for this one to continue to the downside. That is Chief yen, CAD yen. CAD yen, if you look at CAD yen here, looks like it's got a very interesting structure. We've got a move down here. Look at this. You've got these 3 waves up here, which you're looking for here. You're looking for this move. Looking for this interesting move. Any pullback here, look for this downside. Why is the structure like that? You're looking for these 3 waves down, 3 waves up, 1, 2, 3 as well. So simple structure here that will give you a WXY structure in the red degree here. WXY, you're expecting this move. Look for CAD yen to come and take this low here. New Zealand yen, similar structure. Look at this here on New Zealand yen. You've got, let's just look at this one. Let's have a look here. One here. We've got, let's just look at the structure here on New Zealand yen. So you can see New Zealand yen, what the expectation is. So New Zealand yen, we expected this to push up higher. It has pushed up higher. What we're getting currently is a pullback. Is this going to make a pullback and push to the upside, or is this going to, because we are here now, we've pushed up to this level. Looks like this corrective structure is not done yet, so expect New Zealand yen to come down here first before it makes this move. So that is where we are with the New Zealand yen. We are still within this corrective structure here, as you can see, right? So this does not qualify to be a triangle as yet. So and also because we've got out of this structure here, so it cannot be a triangle. So the least it can be is a double or a triple correction within this structure. So we'll be watching that one. Audi yen. Have we looked at Audi yen? I think we have looked at the Audi yen. Audi yen, we've made a move down here. 1, 2, 3. We're expecting Audi yen to drop here. Look for Audi yen to drop here like that. Gold, we cannot talk any more about gold. You've seen the detailed structure on gold and what we're expecting on gold. So it is 3 waves down here and 3 waves up as expected way before the US elections, and how this one reacted during the US elections. We have been looking at one single structure, which is this 3 waves down, 3 waves up. Was also detailed last week. Look at the drop. Dropped ferociously, and we're looking for a correction to complete the move to make it a WXY structure here. We cannot talk more about gold than we already have now. So let's look at silver. Silver, same as gold, 3 waves down, 3 waves back. We're looking for this one to continue to the downside before a move to the upside. So we are looking for this one to be a continuation pattern to the downside in the next week. Let's look at Brent crude. Brent crude also, we've already looked at the structure on Brent crude. We're expecting a pullback here. So this is what we have here. On Brent crude, you could be having this structure. There are 2 ways to look at this. This could be the structure that you're looking at here and looking for this to come to the downside here. This will be a flat correction if it drops. We already shot Brent crude. We already shot Brent crude at that level. Let's just look at the live account here. Where's Brent crude here? So we've got Brent crude oil there. As you can see, we already shot right at the top. Right at the top. So we already shot there. It's dropping. If it continues like that, that means the first bias is the correct one here, which is this one here. That is what we're going to be looking at. So the second one is this. So this is how you protect your money with either structure. So we've taken that bias, we've sold. So that trade we're not going to lose regardless of what happens. So we could be looking at this structure to be a move to the upside. So what happens if it pushes up higher? We already shot here. So if it pushes up higher, it's going to take us for no loss, and then we're going to start looking for trade to the upside. Right now, we are short. So that means we don't lose the trade. That is how amazing that strategy is. So let's look at the pound pairs. Pound chief. Pound chief has made this 3-wave structure, 3 waves up, 3 waves back. Last week, we've detailed that it's going to make a push to the upside and it's going to come down. It is coming down now. Look for corrective structures for downside. This is too obvious, so don't just go and sell there. You need to get confirmation. They're not going to give it to you on a plate like that. Right, pound Audi. Pound Audi, we are already in the trade here with this corrective structure. So we're looking at this to be a 3-wave structure to the upside, a 3 waves back. Now we're looking for this to continue to the upside. We've already started with this move. Impulse here, we've already taken the trade here. We're expecting pound Audi to push to the upside. Let's see how this plays out. Pound CAD. Now pound CAD looks very interesting. Now pound CAD, our forecast was a triple correction, WXYXZ, but that does not look like a proper structure. What looks clear now is that this is a complex correction with a running flat in the middle there like that. So we're looking for this one to push up higher and then drop. Expecting this to make a bit of a push to the upside and then drop. So we're going to be looking for this structure to the downside. WXY, that is pound CAD, looks very good for downside. That is pound CAD, pound New Zealand. Now, pound New Zealand, we're expecting this structure to play out. We've got a pulsing move here from the beginning or the end of August. Now, we've made a move up in 3 waves. We have dropped here in another 3 waves. So the expectation is for pound Audi, or rather pound New Zealand, to come and take the top here. Whether with an impulse or 3 waves, it doesn't matter. We're going to be looking for this structure. A, B, C corrective structure here on pound New Zealand. All right, that is pound New Zealand. Let's look at the rest of the structure of the pairs. Euro pound, you've seen euro pound during trade recaps. So euro pound, we detailed from here these 3 waves that you see here. 1, 2, 3 down, 1, 2, 3 up, 1 running flat here, 2, 3 WXY corrective structure, and a push to the upside. You've seen during trade recaps how we detailed that this was going to reverse from here and looking for this one to push to the upside now. Right, so that is euro pound, euro Audi, euro Audi. Let's have a look here. So euro Audi looks to have started the move to the downside. So we've got this corrective structure here on euro Audi. This the whole corrective structure that we got on euro Audi. We are dropping here now. It looks like we've got a small running flat here. 1, 2, 3, and euro Audi is going to continue to the downside like that. So a break below these structures confirming further downside. It's correcting on the line, so that means we may see further downside on euro Audi. Let's do euro New Zealand first before we do euro chief. So euro New Zealand, we've already detailed this one. 1, 2, 3, we are here. We could be getting euro New Zealand to make this corrective structure. So let's watch how euro New Zealand plays out here. We could be getting a corrective structure, and now euro New Zealand will be coming up here. Remember, this is the one that we started with during trade recaps, how we forecasted that it was going to come down here, up here, come down here, and this is still our forecast. So even when we were here and forecasting these 3 moves, we're still expecting this to come here and give us this move. So we're not just expecting these 3 moves, there's a number of moves that we're still expecting on this pair. So we've got the what you like, if you like to call it, a GPS for how this pair is going to move. That's how we're looking at it, and it's been playing out very well. Okay, there's no magic, so this is how we're forecasting and this is how it's playing out. At some point, we may not always get the trades right, but we are currently doing it proper right now. So out in New Zealand, now out in New Zealand, we may be getting now a move to the upside after we've got these 3 waves down, 3 waves up, and now 3 waves down. Now we'll be looking for this one to make at least a move to the upside there. That is Audi New Zealand, Audi CAD. Audi CAD, we were looking for these to sell here. We've actually sold this trade here. Let me see here. We are also already, we are in negative on this. In a negative on an Audi CAD, just to show you that we don't win all the trades. We've actually this has actually hit our stop. It has actually hit our stop already. So with this one, we were looking to sell it around this. We actually sold it around here. So this one has taken us out because we're expecting this to drop from here. So we're looking for this one to be a 3 waves down here, a 3 waves up, and the 3 waves to the downside. It can still happen like that, but it has already taken out in terms of our timing. So we are out of that. We'll look for another entry. So we don't chase it, we let it go. So that is Audi CAD. Audi Chief. Audi Chief, also look for Audi Chief to continue to the downside. Okay, after completing this corrective structure, looks like we're going to have one more down before we push to the upside. Let's see. New Zealand CAD. Now, if you look at New Zealand CAD, also the forecast is that from current levels, we may be getting 1, 2, 3. We've started with 1 here, 1, 2, 3 up. Now we're looking for this one to do that. So we'll be looking for New Zealand CAD to drop from current levels. So let's look for this one to do that. Downside and then upside. Need to get confirmation for that. New Zealand Chief. Now, if we look at New Zealand Chief, very similar structure and very good looking structure on the crosses. So we've got 3 waves down here, 3 waves up. We're expecting another 3 waves down. So that is New Zealand Chief. Expect a move to the downside. That move will be a WXY corrective structure, WX, and we're looking for a Y there. Right, looking very good. Cat Chief, you saw how we detailed the trade setup on this one. We bought this one, just 1 second. Looks like my battery. Right, so that's what we have here on Cat Chief. We bought Cat Chief here, made a move to the upside, and now it's dropping like that. So this is a 3-wave corrective structure. Let's just put it back here. 3-wave corrective structure, and we'll be looking for this one to drop. All right, so I should have done this before we started. Should have done this, okay. Anyway, so that is what we've got on this one. Look for continuation patterns to the downside. We'll be looking at those shortly. Now, looking at the indices are quite simple. I'm just going to show you the structure here that we expected and is playing out as expected. Let's just go to the site and look at the indices. So the indices are straightforward because they're just making an impulse. Last wave 5. So if you look at the S&P 500, what did we expect? We expected this to be a wave 4 and push to the upside, and this is how it has played out. We didn't only focus after the move, we focused when this was here, that it was going to push up to the upside. As I've shown during trade recaps, we're looking for this wave 4 to be here. Okay, that is the market. You cannot predict it 100%, so it made a flat and we're pushing to the upside. That is the S&P 500, and the rest of the indices have got the exact same structure. If you look at the Dow Jones Industrial, this is the Dow, right? Let me just make sure. That's the Dow Jones Industrial, similar structure, and we're looking for this to complete wave 5. So we're still on our way to wave 5. So that is the structure that you've got on the Dow. Let's look at the next one is the Nasdaq. So the Nasdaq as well. Let's look at the Nasdaq. We're looking for this one to push to the upside. So the Nasdaq structure is going to be it's going to change a bit. Let's look at the Nasdaq here. Let's look at this structure. So the Nasdaq may change slightly in terms of structure. We're looking at this to be a wave 4 for the Nasdaq and then push to the upside to go for a wave 5. If that does not happen, Nasdaq may give this structure similar to New Zealand CAD, 1, 2, 3, and then we get this one to make one move to the downside and upside. This will not change anything. This will still be wave 4 and it will still be going for a wave 5. So if you see the Nasdaq dropping from here, it will just be completing the wave 4, which is an ABC corrective structure here, A, B, C here. Right, so look out for the Nasdaq that can play out this structure. Either that or this is 1, 2, and we're going for the wave 5 here, the last wave 5 on the Nasdaq. Right, so there's that is the Nasdaq. Dow, we've already looked at UK 100. We cannot talk any more about the UK 100. This is the latest chart. This is what we're expecting for members. This is now from last week. So this is still in play. We focused on this one from when we were still here that we're going to get that and then upside. Very good trade there on UK 100. The next one on the indices is the DAX. So the DAX as well, as you can see, we started with this move. We're looking at this one as a wave 2 in the yellow degree and expecting this one to go for the wave 3 on the DAX, and that is how the DAX has played out. If you look at the DAX now, let's have a look here. That is exactly how the DAX has played out. Now we're looking for continuation patterns to the upside to go and complete that wave 3 on the DAX. Very interesting structure here. We've got a beautiful expanding flat, textbook expanding flat. Now looking for continuation to the upside. That is the DAX and the Nikkei. Nikkei focused it exactly as it has played out. Now, if you look at the Nikkei, we've been looking for this to push to the upside for a couple of days now. And this is actually the latest chart. If you remember, we've had the Nikkei from here for a while, looking for this one to start making a push to the upside. At some point, we even looked at this to be an ending diagonal where we're going to get a 3-wave pullback and then upside. So this is how the Nikkei has now played out as expected there. as expected. That is how the Nikkei has played out. What do we expect? We're still expecting continuation to the upside. It's a bit too late to be taking this now after such a big move. It was almost a textbook breakout there on the Nikkei. And lastly, the Nifty is not listed on our charts, but we do analyze it as well. So let's have a look here. So we made this three-wave corrective structure, and then we made a continuation to the upside. What do we expect of the Nikkei? It is now breaking the all-time highs. Is that the all-time highs? Let me just make sure. It looks like it's breaking the all-time highs. If we open, and we've already broken the all-time highs, so the Nikkei, any pullback here, we should see it continue to push to the upside. That's all for this week, guys. Trade responsibly. Please don't forget to hit the notification button so you get an alert next time we post a video. Please drop a like, drop a comment on the video. Thank you very much for watching. See you next week. Cheers, everybody. Bye-bye.